Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Popular Decks. I'm your host Michael, and today I'm going to be playing the deck that I am most well known for, 101 card teaching. So I'm calling this one Grixis 101. It's like a class that I'm teaching on how to play Grixis. So a lot of things have changed since I last played these decks, and I think we're going to be better off playing more red spells and fewer black spells. So that's why I've moved into Grixis. And a lot of that has to do with these really awesome thriving lands that have been printed since I last played this deck. They make it so if I really only need one black source most of the time, and this is 7 sources of, mostly they're going to be blue-red lands, but every so often I can toss a black onto one of those and have my one black source. Another reason to switch to a heavier red count is the sweeper in the format is Fiery Cannonade now instead of Evankar's Justice. Fiery Cannonade is really awesome, much better than Justice ever was. Instant speed, 2 durable, 3 damage, just so good, and so much better than Suffocating Fumes in black. So really a no-brainer to move to primarily red here. So let's get into the deck a little bit. You might notice I have a lot of lands, 42. So it's over 40% lands, and I try to account for that a little bit by having a few extra cycling lands in the deck. So I've got 7 cycling lands in this deck, and that's so when we get really late in the game and I've got too many lands, I can play a bounce land, return one of those to my hand, and cycle it and get some value. We really need to hit every land drop early, so I want to play a lot of lands, but I don't want to hit all lands for the whole game, so it's nice to have a little bit of value in the mana base. Let's get into the spells here. I've got 6 cantrips. Preordain's the best one. I've got kind of a variety of them just because it's nice to have options. I have 1 Brainstorm, which is more of a tutor target. I don't have as many shuffle effects as I used to in this deck, thanks to those Thriving lands, which are a lot better than the Evolving Wilds I used to have. But I do still have the Ash Barrens and the Teachings, so I keep 1 Brainstorm in here that I can shuffle stuff away. And that's another reason to have Ponder too, is I can shuffle the Brainstorms away. Then I've got 17 removal spells. These are a liability in certain matchups, but I think we need this many for most of the decks in the format are pretty creature heavy, so I like to have all these. A couple individual tutor targets, Magma Spray for an exile effect, and Terminate to kill the Guardian card that has protection for monocolored. Nice to have 1 multicolored or colorless removal spell. So in this case, I've gone with multicolored. Then I've got the 6 mass removal spells. I already kind of covered. Fiery Cannonade, just so strong. This really a game changer for the deck. I'm killing everything with this with this card basically. Really hard for them to spell stutter sprite it, unlike Electrickery, which is so easy to get with spell stutter. Fiery Cannonade just cannot be sprited very easily, and it's just so fast. Instant speed and 2 durable, 3 mana, so much better than Evankar's Justice. I've got 8 counter spells, a little bit of a diverse group here. I've got 1 Deprive, so I can pick up my bounce land or my cycle lands, get some value late. I've got these kind of hybrid counter spells and card advantage spells. Disrupt is super fun. I love this card. You can really get people with a 1 mana counter spell, draw a card. The 1 mana Cryptic Command. Don't be afraid with this card not to get the full value. It's okay to just cast it on one of their spells and then have them pay the 1. That can really disrupt people's game plans, pardon the pun. So next I've got card advantage spells. This is probably one of the worst spells in the deck, but it's still one of my favorite, Whispers of the Muse. If you get to the point where you're casting this card with buyback, you probably long since won and you don't really need it, but it's pretty low opportunity cost to just cycle this for 1 mana if you need to. I'm down to just 2 Think Twices instead of the 4 that I'd normally play in this deck. Behold the Multiverse is just so much better than Think Twice, and it costs less mana for the same amount of card advantage plus more card selection. You can pay on installments, which is really nice with Behold the Multiverse. And it's fewer blue sources, so like I can tap a Pristine Talisman in a swamp to foretell this, and then I can just use only 1 blue mana to cast it on my opponent's turn. Really strong. And then in the last row here, I've got this column is some miscellaneous stuff. Capsize is to prevent our opponents from really building up a big pile of cards and trying to deploy them all at once after we've kind of stabilized. that can sometimes happen against discard decks or against Pyroblast decks. They can, get 3 or 4 pieces of disruption and then 2 or 3 threats that they can deploy all on the same turn, and sometimes they can fight through everything that we have while we are discarding. So you can just capsize all their lands away so they can only play 1 or 2 spells in a turn and really put the screws to them. Pristine Talisman keeps us alive, ramps us, an important part of the deck. It's a little less important now that Evankar's Justice isn't our primary win condition. So I don't know for sure that I need these, but Burn is a really a pretty bad matchup, it seems like. I've gone 2-0 against Burn, but it seems like I've gotten pretty lucky so far. So those are important. And then Crypt Incursion, a little bit of graveyard hate, and a little bit of life gain. Let's get to the sideboard. Some kind of typical blue-red stuff, some Dispels, Hydroblast, Pyroblast. You kind of know when those are going to go in. Thorn of the Black Rose is for against decks that play Monarch cards that I might not be able to stop. So if they've got Pyroblast, maybe they play a Sentinels and a Pyroblast out of Boros on the same turn, and maybe I only have 1 counterspell up and I can't stop it. It's nice to be able to take back the Monarchy at some point with Thorn of the Black Rose, and I can usually kill him in time with damage, even if I'm going to draw cards faster than they are. It's also really good against decks like Black-White, like just decks that are, heavily reliant on removal. Kind of nice to play the Thorn to get some card advantage. I've got 2 relics for some graveyard hate. I've been just getting killed by Storm, and I don't think the relics are going to be good enough for that, but I'm going to bring them in anyway. I've just been the only deck I've really lost to is Storm, so I'm pretty much undefeated against everything. I've lost only 1 match to anything besides Storm since I started playing with this build. So I'm trying the relics, and I brought in the Magma Spray. I played against a deck that had Disciple of the Vault, and that was the only way they could win. They had 1 Disciple of the Vault, basically, and they were able to recur it, but if I had been able to exile it from the battlefield, they wouldn't have been able to do anything. So then Weather the Storm, I can bring that in against Burn. That's what's nice about these Thriving Lands, is I can put one of the 7 Thriving Lands on green, and I can cast Weather the Storm with that. Usually gaining 6 life against Burn is plenty to win the game. Sometimes you can get kind of caught in the mid-game where they've drawn 3 burn spells in a row, and they might be able to fight through your counter spells, like on turn 6 or 7, and Weather the Storm just destroys that plan. So 6 life is usually enough to fight through all that, so you don't really need a lot. Just tutor for it and cast it, and we'll be good to go. All right, that's the deck. Hopefully I can put on a good show for you guys, and I will see you in round 1. All right, here we are for round number 1. We won the die roll against Dawson Creep, and we got a pretty decent hand. I'm going to keep this. So you can see already the power of Thriving Bluff here. I can use this on black mana right away. I have access to everything I need. One starting off with a Preordain, off of a regular island, so that's a little interesting. I would normally expect to see a snow-covered island, even if they're just, faking. I think I'm gonna ponder. Sometimes I like to wait on the ponder if I don't know what they're playing. I'm just gonna assume it's some kind of fairy deck when I'm looking at these cards here. I think I have enough removal and I've got enough mana. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle these. I'm looking for a piece of card advantage. So I went and played the Thriving Isle with black. All right, double blue. No Augur, which is good. I'm just gonna, I think, run out the Pristine Talisman. The Pristine Talisman has gotten a lot less important in the deck recently, so I don't care if they counter it. Alright, double island, no spells is a little scary. I'm still guessing I'm against some kind of Delver or Fairy style deck, but it's really hard to say. I have a lot of removal for that, but if they play a couple Augurs out, I'm going to be getting 2 for 1 the whole time. Another island. There's the auger. So they're definitely going to hit, I would expect. What are they going to show me? A snuff out. Oh, nice. We're playing against blue-black. I have been beating this deck pretty easily. It's really not been much trouble at all to beat the blue-black version of this deck. They just have a lot of removal that's dead, whereas the red version, the lightning bolts can go to my face. I guess I'm just going to kill this guy with a flame slash here. And let's play Thriving Bluff out. Pretty much always want to prioritize having more blue, but I think I'm going to get a second black source here. Well, I'm gonna get a black source. So every so often I want to cast Diabolic Edict and Terminate on the same turn, and I don't have any blue spells. Triple blue is probably enough for the moment. Alright, Fairy Seer, don't care about that. So, like I said, this matchup's gotten all these matchups have gotten a lot easier now that there's no days. So I think I'm going to kill this guy now while they don't have Spell Stutter Sprite up. I'm going to go ahead and bolt it. It's possible I should have just kept that and just waited to use it on a ninja. But I think this is okay at the moment. I do really need to find a piece of card advantage here, so really need to find teachings. Exclude would have been really good already, and obviously whatever that 4-mana card is, Behold the Multiverse, that would be a really good draw. I guess maybe I should have waited. Would have been nice to Electrickery something. I'm sure I'll get opportunities to Electrickery things, though. Guessing the Snuff Out is gone. Maybe they've still got it, but I guess not. Alright. Teachings. Alright, here we go. Cycling Lands coming in hot. Alright. Thriving Bluff. So one of the big advantages of playing red over black is that I don't feel as bad about playing these tap lands. When you're playing black and you need to have a 2-mana spell on turn 2, and you've got tons of tap lands, it makes stuff really hard. Well, I think I'm going to lose because I didn't draw any counterspells or anything, but I might be able to beat this card. Who knows? Probably not, but we are going to try. I guess I'm going to Edict. I'll just terminate it. So I think I want to save the Edict for ninjas. It's kind of nice when they flash in a ninja that I can cast an Edict. That would have been a good one, although I'm quite certain they have a counterspell. So I'm going to try to save this Exclude for a time when I can resolve it. That's probably not going to happen. I expect to lose this game for sure. Yeah, the ninjas, I don't really care about the ninja. I mean, if they counter my Edict, that's fine. I wish I could have cast this like with the ninja on the stack and then excluded after they counter this. Okay, yeah, they don't even care. They know it doesn't matter. Alright, well, maybe they'll flash out a spell stutter here and I can exclude it. Nope. My guess is they won't cast anything without counterspell up for the rest of the game here. Well, I gotta exclude this guy, I guess. Honestly, they probably don't even care about this either, but looks like they're gonna counter it. Yeah, my draw just did not line up this time. Really need more card advantage spells against this deck. I could probably concede right now. I think that would be pretty safe to do. But I am going to wait a little bit here. Let's see what they're going to cast now. Yeah, I mean, let's do this. I'll pick up my Swiftwater Cliffs, you know, gain a little life here. Let's always yield to that. Right on time, Dispel. So I should have maybe considered saving my Exclude until I drew something like Dispel. There goes the Suffocating Fumes. So the reason I'm still playing is it's possible I'm going to be able to blow them out at some point with a sweeper, and then they just like won't have enough power in the deck to kill me. Like right now they're only dealing me 1 damage a turn, and they're drawing at least 3 cards a turn. So, I mean, that's only 10 turns at the moment. They can eventually say no to this ninja, but they can't say no to the other draws. And they're going to be discarding some removal spells here, I'm sure. All right. I'm going to turn off some of these extra stops that I have. I don't usually play with all the stops when I'm playing this deck. Let's do that. So the big thing that would be tough for me to deal with is a Gurmag Angler, which looks like that's what they're casting this turn, of course. That actually speeds up their clock. Everything else is pretty slow. Another Snuff Out that I don't care about. They'll probably discard that right here. I probably have just this one turn to draw Teachings. Should have maybe picked like white or something with that just in case. So this is a deck that I like to play my own Thorns against, because like I could have possibly gotten my own Thorn down at some point in here and had a chance this game. Whereas now, since I can't take the Monarchy back, I just have no shot. We got Ninja coming in. Honestly, my opponent should probably just have not taken that Snuff Out with the Augur earlier and should have just put it on the bottom of their library. But I think they'll be just fine here. I'm sure they have at least 2 counter spells in hand. I needed their 2 Gurmags to be like the bottom 2 cards in the deck. So what can I draw here? I don't think I can draw anything that matters, so we'll just take one more shot here, but let's see what they're going to discard. Just a bunch of removal. Oh, just a little bit too late. Technically, they don't have lethal this turn, so I'm going to go for this Teachings. They've only got 15 damage, and I've got this Pristine Talisman here. All right. Not dead yet. They'll probably just let this resolve. At least I would if I were them. But maybe they're going to counter it. That's fine, I think. Gonna go down to 1 here. Now I just need a card that mills them for 16. Another thing is my opponent's getting, a decent bit below me on clock. Another reason to keep kind of playing this out for a little while here. And you can see they're so low on cards already. I might have had a chance if they had drawn their Gourmet Anglers really late. I'm sure they're just gonna counter this one too if they countered the front half. All right. That's not gonna do it. All right, let's shoot that Electrickery out there. They decided they needed to spell stutter that. Which, fair enough, why not? All right, let's make them do this attack here. And we'll move on to the sideboard. I'm going to be bringing in my Thorns, my Pyroblasts, my Dispel. Could maybe bring in these Relics. That's probably going to be too much stuff to bring in, though. I'm probably not going to bring all that in. All right, we've been killed. That's the first game I've lost against this deck, I think. So I want all my Pyroblasts. I think I want my Thorns, and I want these Dispels. So one thing with the Thorns, you can mill out before your opponent with your own Thorns. So I do like to keep in the Evankar's Justice just as a safety valve. I'm going to take out some of my removal against this deck. So I'm going to take out these Innocent Bloods. Diabolic Edict. I don't want Crypt Incursion. I don't want Capsize. Magma Spray is a little bad, so it doesn't kill the creatures I want to kill. What else do I want to take out? Might only go with 2 Thorns. Definitely want the Cannonades and stuff. All these counterspells, I think I'm going to take out the Deprive. It's a little weak. Whispers is a little scary against Spell Stutter. What does my curve look like? Curve's looking a little high. I think I'm going to take out 1 Thorn. I still don't think they have enough graveyard stuff. Like, I just don't care that much normally about Gourmet Angler. I just kill it with a variety of removal spells, which I've got 5 of them here that can kill it. Maybe I become Grixis 102. Yeah, that seems fine. We'll be 102 for this second game here. All right. Yes, I'd like to play first. No, I would not like to keep that one. I probably shouldn't keep this one either. Yeah, I just have to mulligan. All right, this hand's pretty good. Keep. I want to keep my mountain, I think. Just so I have an untapped land on turn 3. Maybe get rid of both of these thriving lands. Because there's a decent chance I'm going to want to cycle this Lonely Sandbar. No, I'll just do this. All right. Done. All right, I'm going to put this on black right away. Should probably have done red. So more likely to draw a red source. So I can play this mountain and hold up Pyroblast for an Augur. It's their best card against me, probably. It means an extra turn of no exclude. I think that's okay though. So if they play an Augur here, I'll counter it with a Pyroblast. This is a little awkward now that I chose black with this. I should have chosen red. That was just a big mistake. Looks like they're not doing anything anyway, which is fine by me. Now I'm going to choose black with this, and it's probably going to be correct. I don't think I need three red sources. I'm going to say I don't really care about this spell stutter. It's more important that I resolve my exclude. And I'm fine with that. Willing to take spell stutter hits for a little while here. Alright, let's foretell this guy. See if they spell stutter again. Sure. So hopefully I'm going to be able to cannonade these two guys away at some point. I'm going to behold here at the end of turn, I think. I'd really like to make sure my behold resolves, but I can also make sure that I resolve my cannonade. No, I'm just going to wait. We are missing land drops, which isn't great, but I don't think that's the end of the world. All right, here's my chance. So I'm going to go ahead and exclude this. I guess I shouldn't have made this black again. Really getting punished for this because I'd like to hold up Pyroblast and Dispel. But I guess I'm just going to hold up Pyroblast. See if they spell stutter. Yeah, see, it would have been really nice if I could have dispelled that instead of having to waste a Pyroblast, which is a lot more valuable. Okay, that Thorn's going to be good at some point here. Not yet, it's not going to be. So Thorn is really good against the black decks because like they probably don't have any removal that can kill this thing. Well, we're going to make the same play here, except I'm going to hold up Dispel this time. And they're going to get me with a Spell Stutter if they've got one, which they probably do. No. Alright, this is going swimmingly, so I'm probably... Yeah, if I hit a land here, I'm going to cannonade these both away, I think. Alright, I can leave up Bolt and Dispel, so that seems pretty strong. Yeah, I only can't play the Thorn, unfortunately. It'd be really nice if I could sneak that in. I'm kind of tempted here, actually, to play this to resolve this while I can. Pristine Talisman is not very important. I think I do want another land, but I don't really want a tapped one. Okay, guess I'm glad I did that. So let's kill these guys. Alright, I've had a bunch of little 2-for-1s here, but I have drawn a lot more lands than my opponent. This is why I have my Thorns here. And this is why I put my my land on black. So black. Then my own Thorn. And let's Flame Slash their Thorn. I'll dispel that. Alright. So it's considering holding up 2 removal spells instead of spending a Dispel to save my Thorn. But alright, they took it back. So I guess we have to hope now they don't have removal for my Thorn, which they probably don't. Especially not for 1 mana. Alright, Bolt your Thorn. Looks like they've drawn another counter, but I also have a counter. 2 thorns down. So you can see how important... Oh shoot, I don't have a second main phase set. Well, I might have missed the land drop there. Oh boy. Well, I would have played the Talisman anyway, so I wouldn't have been able to cast his teachings this turn, but still. Don't care about Relic at all. They're just going to pop it right off the bat, turn their Gurmag Anglers into trash. They do still have a removal spell in their deck. Okay. I'm going to play this island out so I can teachings for counterspell plus hold up dispel. Teachings. Gonna teachings for teachings. All right, things are looking good. So maybe it was a good thing to play this as black, because I haven't drawn another black source yet. I think I have to counter this. I could teachings for like a bolt or something, but there's probably some way that could go wrong. Yeah, I don't care about that guy. Just gonna teachings for a removal spell for him. I guess we'll go with cast down, like the least interactable one. Okay, we win the game. That did kind of make me want to put another thorn in. Just gonna take this justice out. They didn't make me play out the game all the way to the end where I had to actually kill them with damage, so I'll just leave these thorns in like this. I could try to, I don't know, be sneaky and take the thorns out and put the removal back in, put some extra removal back in. I don't think that's the right thing to do, just because, like you saw there, it gives me a lot of flexibility to allow certain things to resolve. Like I can tap low on my turn to make sure I resolve certain spells. Whereas I can't do that if I just lose the game to them resolving a 4-drop. So, alright, this looks good. I'll keep this. And that was a mulligan to 5 we won on. Mulligan to 5 on the play, so that's pretty impressive. Fortunately, they're going to get to resolve an augur here. I'm just going to have to flame slash it. Yep. We get 2 for 1. Nice, tidy 2 mana, 2 for 1. But that's alright. We've got 2 for 1s too. I think I have to get black with this Ash Barrens just so I can play this Thorn. All right, let's grab a Swamp. Open for another land. Teachings is not great. So I really need to draw land here. Ponder's a pretty scary one since I got this swamp. I'm going to get just completely destroyed here, most likely, when I try to bolt this guy. This will probably be the game here when this doesn't resolve. It's possible no, I couldn't use Dispel. Yeah. So that is the downside of grabbing that swamp. I was thinking about that when I grabbed it, because now they're going to ninja me, and I'm not going to be able to kill the ninja either. Oh, they didn't have a ninja at least. They do have a thorn that I can't stop. Really need to draw land. Well, I think we've pretty much lost this game, unfortunately. Missed my land drops after keeping a 3-land hand in our 42-land deck. Not a good start here. Not going to do anything about those guys. They're just going to pass. They're not going to cast anything until I do. All right, let's grab another red source. So, what am I hoping for? Maybe I hope they play a bunch of stuff that dies to Fiery Cannonade. It kind of seems like they took their other fairies out, which I think is kind of crazy. Man, this would have been so good a few turns ago. I think I have to teachings. This is not going to resolve, I assume. But I want to get a counterspell out of their hand. All right. Definitely a bit of a shame to lose this one. I feel like this is a pretty good matchup, although I think normally they don't quite have as many thorns in the main deck. So at this point I'm not, I guess, that concerned with them having more cards. It's really more the damage that matters. So like I'm going to lose to a Gurmag Angler here, but like I can... Yeah, looks like they're playing a Gurmag Angler. God, everything has just been wrong. They're just kind of drawing the perfect stuff every time. And I don't have anything that can kill that angler at the moment. I mean, I think I have to play my Thorn. And I probably have to trade with the Gurmag Angler here. Although if I draw a removal, maybe I don't. Definitely have to counter that, which is not great. Have to hope all this stuff works. So if they attack with just these guys and don't do anything else, yeah, maybe I should... I don't know if I should have taken my Thorns out. I think I would have lost this game either way, because I'd missed my land. Yeah, I think we can concede here. Well, whatever. I'll just draw one more card. Never know. If I draw like an Innocent Blood, that's not going to work. I mean, I can cannonade these two guys away. But considering casting more stuff, which I would advise against. Nope, that's not going to do it. We're just dead to the Gurmag. All right. Well, this is a pretty good matchup, I think, still, despite getting beaten down twice here. But, yeah, we'll go on to the next one. See you guys there. All right, here we are for round number 2 against Carves, one of the titans of the game. We are on the draw here. I'm going to start off with Thriving Bluff here. Carves is mulliganed. I can't remember what Carves normally plays. I think used to be always on like Stompy or something like that, but probably on something better now. Ooh, some artifact thing. These days that could mean a lot of stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and do blue with this. Yeah, so probably on, well, I don't know. Okay, so maybe just Boros of some kind. I don't really want to discard as of yet. So I'm going to go ahead and play this tapped for now. Although I had intended to pick this up after killing something. So hopefully Carves plays something I can kill. Nope. Has not happened. Alright, so hopefully I draw a land. Ooh, Glint Hawk. I can kill that. Alright. So this looks like some kind of traditional Boros stuff. So what am I looking for here? I'm probably just going to lose next turn to the Palace Sentinels, unfortunately. But maybe I won't. I want to at some point pick this up and get Black Source, I think. But I'm going to preordain. We'll see what we get. Alright, these are pretty... I'm going to put this on the bottom, but I'm going to keep this Aqueduct. And let's just play the Aqueduct and pick up the Sandbar. I'm not going to cycle the Sandbar because I'd like to hold up Exclude next turn. We can just concede here. Yep. Alright. On to the next game. We're going to play some of this stuff. Need a lot of Dispels, unfortunately, because they're going to have a bunch of Pyroblasts that I need to stop. I don't know if I probably don't need all of these. They're kind of all stopping the same thing. I guess I'd probably would rather have the Dispels than the Hydroblast, because sometimes they have like Prismatic Strands or some other things like that. Crypt Incursion's probably okay to gain some life away from the burn spells. Like Trickery's probably pretty good. I'm maybe gonna cut the Innocent Bloods. The Edicts are often pretty bad against these type of decks, because sometimes like they've got Thraben Inspectors and a bunch of junk that don't really care about. What else do I want to cut? He probably still has Battle Screech, so Ivankar's Justice probably stay in. I'm just going to cut the Ivankar's Justice. I don't think we need that. What else do I want to get rid of? Maybe this is too many of these. I'm gonna cut all the Hydroblasts. I don't want that many of that effect. Capsize can be pretty important against this deck. Need the... Probably just cut another removal spell. Let's go ahead and cut the Magma Spray, I think. Doesn't kill a lot of the creatures, and I'm sticking with 102. Alright, let's go first here. Keep. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just cycle the Sandbar right away. Really have not had a great showing with this deck so far for you guys, but hopefully we can pick it up here. I don't really need to counter anything on turn 2, so I'm just going to get my bounce land out there. It's kind of the shame about last game. We would have almost certainly won that game on the play because I would have had Exclude up on turn 2. Or on their turn 4, I mean. But I had a tap land, so I couldn't. Alright, Glint Hawk. At some point I'm going to sweep up all these Glint Hawks with the Cannonade. It's just some classic Boros here. I can take 2 for a while. Not quite as long as I could against the blue-black deck because this deck actually has burn. Alright, another Glint Hawk is just fine with me. I'm lucky. Carves will play yet another one of those. I'm going to Teachings, and I think I'm going to get Behold. Makes no sense to counter any of that stuff because Carves has a bunch of these. Let's see if this gets Pyroblasted. Did not. I'm going to grab Behold. Chainer's Edict's a pretty bad one. I don't really see any reason to spend the 2 mana up front, because I might want to counterspell and cannonade. Just getting blasted. Yeah, that makes me want to cannonade here. I'm just getting bolts thrown at my face willy-nilly. That guy's fine, don't care about him at all. Bog losing my Teachings is not great, but not the end of the world. I couldn't even flash it back yet anyways. Alright, I drew my Thorn. So unfortunately, I'm just going to lose to Pal Sentinels plus Pyroblast at this point. Deadly Dispute is a lot of cards, but it is what it is. I guess I won't lose to that guy necessarily because I have my own Thorns that I can actually take them on or keep back at some point. So if Carves plays something else, I'm going to probably play the Cannonade end of turn. Otherwise, I'm going to just cast this guy. We're going to pick up the Bog probably. I think I am going to counter this. I'd like to get through some cards here. This might draw another Pyroblast, which is fine too. Much rather get those Pyroblasts out of the way. Alright, these are both good. Gonna put the Bluff on top so I don't miss my land drop. I can't play Exclude plus Counterspell anyways, so I think it's fine to do this way. It's a lot of black sources. There must be a Reaping the Graves then in Carves list. Can't really think of any other reason to have that many black sources. I guess maybe it's just the Deadly Disputes. It could just be the Deadly Disputes. But I would yeah, they've got... Yeah, Carves has Reaping the Graves for sure, because we're seeing a Storm count here. It's a bit of an annoying one. Because it doesn't die to Cannonade. But I can just Edict it away, I suppose. Three-color deck with Radiant Fountain. That's just greedy. So the benefit would have been I could have countered that and then cannonaded these guys away and then played Thorn on an empty board. Which now I can't do. But I think it's okay. I only have one black source, unfortunately, so I can't play the Thorn out. I'm a little hesitant to play the Thorn out. before they play their Sentinels anyways. I'm just going to get destroyed by Reaping the Graves here. This one is not so bad. Okay. Well, I'm gonna run my guy out. Let's cycle this. All right, see what we got. And talk about a card I don't care about. There's my Chainer's Edict, unfortunately, but that was going to happen. Blasted. I think we can feel pretty confident that this Standard Bearer is not going to hit me. I guess I'll take another Preordain. Just Flame Slash this guy now. Maybe I should have waited because I can Electrickery that guy. No reason not to keep the Brainstorm. Play this Isle, and I guess I want another black. I've got 1, 2, 3 reds. Yeah, I'll get double black. So I am going to be in trouble to another Palace Sentinels. I'm also going to be in trouble to a Reaping the Graves here. All right. Brainstorm, get 1 card deeper here. Well, these aren't great. I'll go Swamp, and then we'll draw the Bolt. I mean, Exclude is fine, but the other stuff is not exciting. So, little quirk of Magic Online is the Storm counter thing only shows up if somebody has a Storm card in their deck. Although, maybe it's just because I have Weather the Storm in my sideboard, because I'm surprised that Carves would have conceded there. Well, all right. I didn't see anything that game that really made me want to change my mind. I do still want the Crypt Incursion. Maybe I want to get rid of the Electrickery, although I saw multiple creatures that... Yeah, I saw multiple creatures that die to Electrickery, so maybe I will keep one of those in. They do die to Cannonade too, but Electrickery is just a little more efficient. I'll just keep this the way it is. Maybe I just shouldn't keep that Evankar's Justice in. I mostly have it so that when I play the Thorn, I can actually kill my opponent before the Thorn mills me. Alright, I'm going to keep this. It's not amazing, but to start off with Preordain and stuff. Don't want those. Tempted to keep one of them, but I really need to draw lands. And I also need to draw a Cannonade, which I did. I'm gonna have to sweep up this Inspector with a Cannonade at some point, probably. And that Standard Bearer, also happy to sweep that up. Okay, still nothing. No lands in sight. Thriving Heath. So there are a lot of black sources in this deck. This is pretty much straight up Mardu. Still no land. right. Well, Sentinel away. Because I've got nothing. Alright, no Sentinels this turn, which is nice. I don't just straight up lose to Sentinels either, like I do in game 1. Alright, yeah, let's get a black source here. I'm gonna hold up the counterspell and the think twice. And the cannonade. They cast nothing, I'm gonna cannonade those guys away. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Maybe the Prismatic Strands is gonna happen here. Yeah, looks like it's gonna save. Carve's gonna save his team. Do I want to kill one of these guys? It's so bad to use Terminate on one of these. I'm just gonna take that. So I'm not sure that there's room in the Boros deck for like... So clearly Carve's brought in like 8 sideboard cards, so I don't know if there's room for burn spells, like how many burn spells I should be playing around here. Maybe I should have just cast Think Twice last turn, because it seemed kind of obvious that Carve's had that. All right. I'm gonna try to find some removal spells, like some 1-mana removal. All right. Unfortunately, this bolt's not gonna work, probably. Well, let's see. So let's just pass the turn here. It's possible I should have just played the Thorn at some point in here. Like this turn might have been an okay one too. Like 2 of these guys can't attack into it. Alright, so since the Thraben Inspector is back, the bolt's not gonna work. But I think I might as well cast it anyways. Yeah, so I have to target the Standard Bearer. Alright. Well, that I don't mind as much. I'm going to go ahead and terminate this Core Skyfisher here. Wish I would have had a Dispel for the Deadly Dispute. Reaping the Graves coming here, maybe. Another Deadly Dispute, alright. Lots of cards. Capsize would be nice here. Still not enough mana for Reaping the Graves. There's the Glinthawk. Picking up the Ancient Den or the Treasure Token. Okay. Dispel's a decent one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So I guess I'm going to take 3 here, cast Teachings, and think twice. Yeah, so Carves is keeping back Prismatic Strands. It's probably a good play, but at some point I'll be able to draw enough stuff to get around it. Maybe I'll just get this Edict. I only have 1 black source at the moment. Maybe I should have cast Think Twice first. I wanted to make sure I could resolve this, so I wanted to dispel something. But maybe I shouldn't have cared that much, because I don't care about result. Like, I don't care about any of these. It's possible I should be getting, like, Crypt Incursion or something. What do I want? So I know what I don't want. The only red removal spell I would consider would be Cannonade. Maybe I will still take the Cannonade and I'll just dispel and hopefully it works. But I'll be doing that later. Alright, well, if they got triple burn spells, I'm dead. Let's grab black. So I'm okay taking another 2 here. So Galvanic Blast has been turned on. This is interesting. I mean, I suppose I'll Cannonade while I can. I'll just dispel the Prismatic Strands that they're going to cast. Okay. I think I might dispel that. It's a lot of cards. Alright, now hopefully I play nothing. One Galvanic Blast. Is this the Reaping the Graves? Yeah, it's not great. Would have been nice to have drawn a Crypt Incursion naturally. So we'll see what creatures come out here. Unfortunately, my burn spells are still dead. Well, I think I got no other choice. We'll go with this. I guess I'm gonna need another black source. Alright, well, doesn't work right now, but it's possible Carves won't play around it, but Carves is a really good player, so I'm guessing Carves will play around it. Standard Bearer. So if there's just another burn spell, I'm gonna be in pretty bad shape here. Tempted to think twice here. Try to draw a removal for that, or try to draw a counter for that. None of my red spells work anyway, so let's just think twice. Okay. So I get to keep the monarchy. I used to have a Bajuka Bog in this list, and maybe I should have one, but I haven't been playing against very many graveyard-centric decks, so I haven't really felt the need for it. But I'm kind of feeling the need for it right now. Oh boy. Got 9 mana here. Could have 10. So I can teachings for all kinds of stuff. I could just think twice and try to find something. Still none of my red spells work. My Terminate is gone, but I do still have Cast Down. Maybe I just go to 1. Like play the Talisman and go to 1. Let's cast Think twice and see what I get. I don't know if Carves is considering a Pyroblast on this. So I guess I was a little bit short of drawing that counter spell. I really wanted to counter that first Core Skyfisher. Play this mountain. So I'm going to hold up counter spell. And then some black and some red. So I can cannonade away these two guys. They don't matter. The Core Skyfishers are what matter. Yeah, that card does nothing. So I'm dead to like Bolt plus Pyroblast. Hopefully Carves just there's a bunch of cycling here. Yeah, I mean I gotta take the 4. Also, I think dead to another Prismatic Strands probably. I'm dead to like everything, so I think I gotta get this cannonade out of my hand here. So I don't know. I'm just dead to everything. I'm trying to get those two guys off the board. Yeah, another Strands. Figured that might be the case. But somehow I didn't die, which I suppose is good. Wonder if when I got this cannonade earlier, I should have gotten Crypt Incursion, and I could have killed like eaten like 3 things, but they still had a bunch of stuff on the board that they would have gotten back. So I think I have to play this Thorn probably. Alright, so let's... I just can't beat anything. I can't beat Pyroblast, can't beat any burn spells. Yeah, I can't beat a Pyroblast on this. I needed to like get Deadly Dispute or whatever, the cast down, I mean, kill this. And still just lose. I was still dead. Alright, good games. Man, this should be another good matchup too, but just didn't quite get there. I suppose I can still draw. Just draw like the perfect cards. So what can I draw? I don't think I can draw anything. I almost definitely can't if I cycle this sandbar. Should have tapped the sandbar instead of the islands. They have not a single creature in their graveyard still because they got like 5 in their hand. So even Crypt Incursion doesn't do it. So I think I can live if I draw Crypt Incursion and then I like Diabolic Edict and Crypt Incursion them. So I guess we're going to play for that. And even that only works if I like attack with this. Nope, not enough. Alright, good games, Carves. On to the next match. Alright, here we are for round number 3. And I think we have to mulligan this hand. I do like to keep one land hands with cantrips, but Brainstorm is too risky. So let's go here. Yeah, this one looks good. Let's keep this. I don't know what I'm up against. I think I'm going to get rid of the Talisman. Maybe get rid of the Swamp. No. What do I get rid of here? Get rid of the Electrickery. It's a little too situational, I think. But there are a lot of decks that Electrickery is good against. Could have maybe looked up what one Pizio likes to play, but I'm not about that. I'm not going to try that hard. Alright, we got a mountain here. And nothing. Lead off on the Forgotten Cave in case I want to Flame Slash something, like a Thermo Alchemist here. Nope, that doesn't look like what's happening. Alright, I guess I'm glad the Cleansing Wildfire is happening now instead of to my bounce land. That is one thing that's changed a lot. I've been able to beat these decks, but it's definitely scary out there for all the bounce land people. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to run it out there. I have enough lands that, I mean, I don't want to get set back a land drop, but if I do, I do. Some of these decks have like the full... Yeah, that one's a tough one. I guess I'm going to run out this Talisman just so I can have some mana next turn. I assume my bounce land's going to get wildfired here. Some of these have the... Anyway, what I was saying, some of these have the full 8 like Geomancer's Gambits. And that's not great for us. See if they hit their Citadel and ramp some more, or if they... Yeah, it looks like they're going to hit their Citadel and ramp some more rather than hitting my Boilerworks. I don't know many people play bounce lands these days, so like might not be an interaction they're used to, or maybe they just really need the ramp. Alright. I guess I'm going to hold up Teachings. I kind of want to hold up teachings for disrupt just in case something happens, because this is a pretty tap out heavy deck, it looks like. But I think I won't. Let's play this on red and pass. I can play my swamp next turn and flashback teachings if I need to here. I don't know exactly what we're playing against. I've seen this guy in some decks, but not in like a Mardu kind of deck. It's also kind of strange to see Darksteel Citadel when we've got all these tapped lands. Oh, okay, this makes sense. I played against, yeah, this is the deck I played against when I was playing Burn. I just got completely murdered by these guys. Just stood no chance whatsoever. Alright, let's yield to that. Alright, so I'm going to be flame slashing that on my turn, most likely here. Tempted to be hold. I think I'm going to get exclude. That's a nice one. Let's flame slash the 4/3. I'm going to hold up counterspell and exclude, which means I need to play an island. I can take hits from this 2/1 for a while. Let's take some extra stops off. They're not playing ninjas, so I don't need an attack step stop. Try to play as quick as possible with this deck. The kind of deck my opponent's playing is one that I could definitely have... oh man. I just don't care that much about these, but also I really don't want to get helixed for 4 again. I guess it's just efficient to use my counterspell here, so I will. What was I saying? I don't remember now. Anyway, I'm surprised to see this Darksteel Citadel. That's kind of crazy in a world where we've got like indestructible tap dual artifact lands. Oh, I know what I was talking about. I take off a lot of my stops just so I can play quickly against in matchups where it could go really long. Like this is definitely a matchup where I could capsize them to death, and I need all the time I can get to do that. So if they don't cast a creature, I get to flashback teachings. If they do, I get to exclude it. So kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't for my opponent, hopefully here. Yeah, so we got these. I just am surprised to see Darksteel Citadel in the deck. I would think even like half on color would be better than that. But maybe not. I might get Galvanic Blasted to death here. A Deadly Dispute, okay. We got the Storm Count again, so I don't know if they've got Reaping the Graves in their deck or something. Which I think would be a little weird. But I got a Teachings for Teachings here. So yeah, I could get Galvanic, like triple Galvanic Blasted and killed right here. That could easily happen right now. Looks like they only have one at the moment. As the downside of these thriving lands is they've replaced life gain lands. A little more vulnerable to burn than we might have been previously. Alright, another Cleansing Wildfire. Opponent is ramping it up. This card is pretty strong if you've got a bounce land. It's like a super cultivate for 2 mana. Or like an explorer. I don't know how to describe it. So it looks like my opponent is playing the full 8. So probably one game this match I'm going to get completely destroyed by my Boilerworks getting killed. Probably my bounce lands just getting completely destroyed by those. But that's not going to be this game. I'm going to die to burn spells in this game. I'm going to teachings for teachings, I think. No, I'm going to teachings for behold. And if they kill me, they kill me. I mean, I'm not going to play around burn spells here. I don't want either of these, I don't think. Maybe I do want the talisman. I need to find a removal spell, though, so I think I'm going to put them both on the bottom. Alright, well, I guess I found a talisman anyways. Alright, so I want to make sure I have 5 mana up. I do still have 5 up. I shouldn't have done this because I could have played my bounce line. Wait, no, I have 6 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So let's, I guess, pick up my swamp. No, I want to have 6 up so I can teachings. So I guess I'll play the thriving bluff. There's no reason to have 7 up. Alright, let's play this, and I'm going to get another black. Alright. So we got 6 mana here. They're probably going to play that hasty one. Hopefully they hit like a Chainer's Edict or something. Blood Fountain. Well, I don't think I can afford to counter that. I'm going to exclude the boarding party. So I still haven't drawn removal here. They've got 2 creatures in their graveyard, perfectly for the Blood Fountain. But at least it's kind of slow. These are some more vampires. I'm going to cycle this because if I hit a miscalc, I'm going to want to miscalc this and hold my counterspell. Okay, did not hit a miscalculation. They've only got 1 mana up at the moment. Got a white spell. Am I getting mana tithed? Oh, geez. Alright, I really need to find removal now. I need to find a lot of stuff. They've gotten a lot of card advantage on me. Yeah, it would have been nice at any point to hit a removal spell for this. I've only found one the whole game. Gone through a lot of cards. But we got to behold the multiverse. That should find us something here. Anyway, I get to keep that ephemerate exiled forever if I kill this on my turn, so that's the goal here. Alright, counterspell is decent. Let's go ahead and behold. Oh, these are so good, but I think I have to put these both on the bottom. I'm greedy. I'm putting the think twice at least on the top. Of course, I missed. Magma Spray is a good one. That means they can't get this one back. So let's go and play the Aqueduct here. Alright, well, this guy failed. Let's say that Magma Spray coming in clutch here now. They can't do too much recurring with their Blood Fountain. It's just going to be some creatures. So they keep hitting these, and apparently my opponent doesn't have any removal. I mean, I guess I gotta counter this, right? They're just gonna get something back, but who knows what it'll be. So they can resolve probably like a deadly dispute and return a creature with whatever the late to dinner or whatever the reanimator spell is. I don't know which one they'll get. I would probably get boarding party if I were them to get the extra damage in right away. Like I obviously don't have a lightning bolt, because if I did, I would have just countered the boarding party in the first place. Okay, they decided to go that route. Alright, they discarded Chainer's Edicts with their blood token. This just deals damage to creatures, so I don't really care about him, but it could be annoying if I draw if I were to have drawn an Edict spell. Alright, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, possibly 12 mana. So I can Teachings. Get play the swamp and Flame Slash this guy. Just hold up mana. We'll see what they do. If they try to Blood Fountain, I might Crypt Incursion. Really cut off my card advantage engine, but hopefully they won't have other stuff. Like this I think is going to be kind of their last resort to use this Blood Fountain. Yeah, I think we do that. The other option is to just exclude them. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, potentially 10. And I don't have enough mana to think twice first. I think I'm just going to Crypt Incursion them, hopefully get out of burn spell range a little bit. Obviously the downside of this is I've turned off my card advantage engine. I can't Teachings for Teachings anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and cast this before. Oh wait. Maybe I won't cast this. I'm gonna go ahead and let this guy kill himself before I cast this Crypt Incursion. Hopefully I don't die because of that. Otherwise, thank you for the 3 life, opponent. Alright, what do they got? Don't care much about that. So what's all gone? So they've still got 2 more boarding parties, 2 more vampires, probably a couple more ardent elementalists. But I've got a few turns now that I can survive these. Alright, let's start off with flashing back my Think Twice. Brainstorm could be good. Like I draw Teachings off of it. I didn't, but I drew some okay stuff. So let's go ahead and kill. Let's go ahead and do this. Say bounce land. We'll pass the turn here. You're gonna gain 3 life with their food, that's fine. So you definitely lose to like a couple boarding parties here. And if they draw some deadly disputes, that's definitely going to be annoying. You have to draw 3 cards off of it. I'm hoping most of their hand is Chainer's Edicts and stuff. Maybe 1 burn spell. Oh, they're going to shuffle for me. Thank you kindly. How many red sources do I have? 1, 2. I've got plenty of red. So I'll grab a blue. I don't have any more brainstorms, but yeah, I'm gonna shuffle with this Ash Barrens also. And I've got plenty of every color. I guess I'll grab a mountain this time. So really hoping to draw teachings. Behold the Multiverse would be good. Oof. That one's definitely the toughest one. Let's see if they get back. Luckily, I got their Ephemerate exiled forever. Galvanic Blast. I don't think that's the right choice. I think that is probably, unless they're like killing me this turn, like right now. I think that's probably the worst one they have in their deck. Which, if they are killing me right now, then it's a good choice. But it doesn't seem like that's what's happening. I'm gonna save this Cannonade until they try to hit this guy again, I think. Until they try to Ephemerate the Elementalist. One thing our opponent has to watch is their clock for sure. Another boarding party, it looks like. But they hit and Ephemerate. So I'm tempted to let this one resolve, and then when they try to flash it back, I kill it. Or I do like the same thing I did last time. So what I was scared of them getting before was a late to dinner. Because then, like, they just get this guy back in a never-ending loop, and I have no way to stop it in my deck. I'm going to let them resolve this. Wait, oh, since I shouldn't have... Well... Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have done that. I guess I didn't quite realize... I forgot that they wouldn't get to... They wouldn't get, whatever, the rebound. That's not great, because now I can't even kill this guy. Or they get to, like, bounce it with Ephemerate. Oh, that was a big mistake. Shoot, shoot, shoot. I think I still just bolt this guy. Maybe they decide to save the Ephemerate for the Elementalists, assuming that I have nothing for it. Which would be a good assumption, because obviously I should have countered it. This is all just a ploy to gain myself some life by not letting this guy attack. Alright, now I've got a couple answers to the Ephemerate on that guy. So I'm hoping they cast it end of turn. No. I'm gonna electricity this guy. Ephemerate doesn't really work. I mean, it kind of works. See, now they should get back late to dinner, which is what they should have done before. I'm hoping they get back Galvanic Blast again. Okay. That isn't what my opponent did. They did the right thing instead of the wrong thing. Looks like their last vampires here. Yeah, I played this pretty sloppy. My opponent, I think, made a mistake when they got that Galvanic Blast back, but I've played pretty poorly after that. Yeah, I should just let them hit me for 2, because then I could have killed this guy too. With, like, with my Cannonade plus Electricity. Granted, I don't need to get this guy off the board right away. Oh, that's rebounding still. Well, I will get him off the board right away then. I guess I should have seen it sitting in exile there. Alright, so the Ephemerates, those 2 are gone. I don't know how many they play. They're going to play their late to dinner probably on the Elementalists. I don't know what they're going to get with it. Maybe they'll get back the late to dinner again. The thing is, if they don't have an Ephemerate, I don't have to kill this guy. Okay. Keep getting back these vampires. I'm pretty sure they should be getting back the 6/3. Like, they don't need the life, and the 6/3 has haste. It's 2 more damage. It's been a couple times here where I should have been a little bit lower than I am. Guess I'll hold on to that, although there's really no reason to. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to Cannonade here before damage probably, unfortunately, just to not take the 2. Gonna be in trouble to another Ephemerate, but looks like they don't have that. At some point they're gonna draw their other deadly disputes, and they're gonna get to draw a boatload of cards. Yeah, so if they had gotten the 6/3 at some point, I would have been dead on that turn right there. Because they would have hit me for 2 last turn, 2 more last turn, and 2 more this turn. I would be dead. I don't know. Maybe I'll pick a different color so they get scared. Just pick blue. Yeah, this was the problem with that Crypt Incursion line. I think it was probably the right thing to do, but alright, I'm dead to a lot here. Alright, they finally drew their deadly disputes. They get to draw a bunch of cards. Gonna go to 1. I'm dead to a bolt. Dead to a reanimation on a vampire. Dead to another Ardent Elementalist. I'm not dead to a Chromatic Star. This game is just kind of a shame because we would have... Okay. We're not dead to that. At least not yet. This game is kind of a shame because if I had drawn a Teachings like at any point recently, or if I had drawn a Behold, we'd probably be in amazing shape. Technically not dead to these this turn. Looks like I am dead to something. Or they're just deadly disputing again. Okay. All right. Well, that's my opponent got. This is game one, and they've used over half their clock, so there's a decent chance we could time them out here, but could also easily just die to them. That'll do it. Things are not going well in this league, that's for sure. They hit Deadly Dispute. They didn't cast it. Probably a good idea. Alright, drew way too many lands. That's what happens when you play a billion million lands. What was I going to draw? Forgotten Cave into Deprive. I don't think that stuff would have been enough. Although maybe it would have been. They were almost completely dead there. So, okay, we were going to want our relics here. Hydroblasts and Dispels look good. Evankar's Justice, terrible. Cannonades look pretty bad. Electricity is just like straight up better. I do kind of want a Thorn or two. This is the kind of deck where they can play like... These decks always have way too many sideboard cards against control for how bad control always is. This is the type of deck that's going to have like multiple discard spells and like 4 Pyroblasts. So I think we're going to need the Thorns because they're probably going to be able to resolve something at some point here. I want to keep the Magma Spray. It was really good there. I do wonder if I need more Magma Sprays. Capsize is good in this matchup. All these cards are good. I'm going to take out, I think I'm going to take all the Cannonades out. The Deprive is kind of bad. Maybe I don't really want to cut any of my cantrips. Maybe I'll cut it. No, I need more. The reason I lost there is not because I was short on removal. I was short on action. I like the Edicts because they're good against Ephemerate. Maybe look at one Flame Slash because sorcery speed removal is not very good. Against decks like this, I'm always tempted to take out all my talismans because they're probably going to way like I think this opponent's going to way overvalue them. And bring in a bunch of artifact removal, and it'd be nice if I could blank some of that stuff. Maybe this is just a 103. Maybe we'll just do a little 103. Alright, I mean, this hand's okay. I'm going to get just... Obviously, I'm going to get completely destroyed when they Cleansing Wildfire my Boiler Works here, but... What are you going to do? What are you going to do about that? Nothing, probably. So, okay. Star. So, hopefully... They don't have Cleansing Wildfire and they're relying on like Geomancer's Gambit. But okay, Deadly Dispute, they're gonna have to discard here. So I guess I don't mind that. Alright, we're gonna hopefully be able to cycle this Miscalculation. I'm hoping to Hydroblast a Cleansing Wildfire and then cycle a Miscalc. I'm gonna cycle the Miscalc. I need to draw some lands. Are they just going to discard again? I mean, I want to counter this, but also I just don't really care if they want to discard. I think I'm going to Brainstorm. Okay. Not great. Definitely gonna miss some land drops unless I can get lucky with this Think Twice and maybe this Exclude, but I think that's okay. So hopefully I hit right here, another land. Nope. But I think I'll be happy to just discard this Innocent Blood. My opponent's not really doing anything. They've discarded couple cards already. I'll discard something too. It's going to be another deadly dispute. Okay. I'm going to exclude this guy even though I can Hydroblast it. I think I'd like to draw another card. I should no, I'll just Hydroblast it and then I'll think twice. Alright, let's see a land. Not a land. That is a land. This puts me in an awkward spot. So I can't hold up exclude unless I want to discard. Whatever, I'll let them resolve one. There's no reason to tap. Well, yes, there is a reason to tap like that. Okay. Alright, well, hopefully they don't do anything too crazy here. They're probably going to play their Monarch card and I'm going to get killed. That one I don't care too much about. They're just going to try to loop late to dinners. They're going to grab a Deadly Dispute. Yeah, that's fine. I just don't really care about any of that stuff. I think I will play this because I've got a land. I don't care if they counter it, and I've got a land plus a removal spell here. These both look okay. Yeah, let's keep both of these. Yeah, that's looking good. So I think I'm going to play Flame Slash on this guy. And then I guess I'll dispel their Deadly Dispute. Get some cards out of my hand here. Okay, I'm gonna, I guess, dispel the Ephemerate. They just countered something else? Or they sacrificed something else? My opponent has really tempted me to dispel this. And I will. Okay, I'm going to hold up exclude here. I imagine it's going to get pyroblasted if I want to actually cast it on something, but you never know. Another Deadly Dispute. Yeah, that one's fine. Hopefully they tap out for a creature here. Wildfiring their own land. I don't care about that. I might have Hydroblasted if they, well, I might have let them do it on my land. So then I could get a black source. This game's going well. Got this think twice and everything. Gonna preordain here. Hope to hit a land. Gonna play out my relic. Are they gonna pyroblast my preordain? I'm fine with that. These are both good, but I think I still just want some lands. That one's not good. Alright, we'll slowly eat away at their graveyard and their clock. Alright, boarding party probably gonna let resolve. What'd they hit? Cleansing Wildfire. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Then I'll just bolt this guy. Alright. Getting a little teachings flooded here. That's okay. Exile a card from their graveyard. I think there's a pretty good chance if my opponent doesn't concede soon, they're going to lose this game and also timeout. Alright, Red Elemental Blast doesn't do anything. Just going to Hydroblast this, because I want to cast Teachings this turn. That's the downside of putting Pyroblasts in your Cascade deck. Sometimes you Cascade into them. I think I'm just going to grab a Counterspell here. Alright. I think we've pretty much locked this one up. I don't know if my opponent knows it yet, but I would say that's probably safe to say. Alright, I'm going to exclude the Thorn. I'm probably going to eat 6 here and play the Innocent Blood. That is awfully tempting to exclude that and not take 6, but 6 is just not enough for me to care. I'll take 6. I've got a Dispel, so I've got an answer to a burn spell, so I guess I'm okay with that. And then I don't really need to get removal. I think maybe I'll grab exclude. Let's play the Innocent Blood. I don't mind if they Deadly Dispute. I think that's their last Deadly Dispute. That's 4 of them. I'm going to play out my Sandbar. Target them. We're still up by about 2 minutes. Don't care about that one. Fortunately, I only have 1 black source. I'm going to keep this Teachings in my hand for now. I don't want to have like all my Teachings in the graveyard and then I've got to crack my Relic for some reason. I'm not going to play this Preordain. I could look for a land with it, but I want to make sure I can Teachings here. I guess I get a Behold. Now I am going to look for a land, and we found 2 of them, so that's good. I'm going to play the Swamp this turn. Foretell the Behold, Relic them. Pass the turn here. Yeah, Blood Fountain's fine. Yeah, this is kind of what our Relic has been waiting for here. To be honest, I don't care that much about these creatures, but I guess I don't want them to get their boarding parties back. These don't do that much, but I am going to exclude them. Alright, they could kill me with all burn spells here. If they have a bunch of burn, like 4 burn spells, they could kill me. So let's see if this is a Reaping the Graves. In which case I'll just pop the Relic and we'll be done with that. I don't care that much, but I am just going to pop the relic. Yeah, I guess top is fine for these. I think I got a little loosey-goosey on that last turn. Probably could have died to some burn spells that I just should not have been able to die to. These just don't matter, but I don't want to take 4. Okay, it's teachings. Just gonna grab a counter spell. Play some talismans. All right, they're catching up a little bit. They're only 1 minute behind me now. So I do have to play a little faster. Just gonna grab the Crypt Incursion. Pass the turn. Don't care about Cleansing Wildfire. So for me, the game is more about clock at this point. Because I realistically cannot kill my opponent. That's fine. But I'm not going to do a lot of commentary here because I'm just going to be racing. I'm going to go ahead and take my main phase stop off, I think. Okay. I waited till there. So I need to make sure I don't get killed quickly. So I'm going to put my Flame Slash in. I'm going to take out my Thorns. Capsize is not going to happen. Whisper is not going to happen. Maybe I do keep the Whispers just because. Maybe I'll just go with Deprive. I don't think I want Weather the Storm. Yeah, maybe I do. All right, I gotta go quick here. Got about 40 seconds advantage on my opponent, but I have to make more decisions than they do. It's possible I should have taken out some of these cantrips. All right, they're choosing to play first. I gotta have mulligan, I think. This one I'll keep. I'm gonna get rid of the Terminate. Shoot, 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 shoot. Woo! Got my main phase in. Good thing they had a stop for me. So I'm going to hold up my Disrupt because I'd like to counter a Cleansing Wildfire. Okay, that's a creature. Here's my Terrible Weather the Storm. I'm going to play that out. I still want to hold up this Disrupt. I'm going to turn off my block thing. I'm going to pick up the Sandbar, but I don't think I'm going to cycle it. Blast is fine. Disrupt is not looking very good right now. Gonna edict them. It's gonna take some precious time off their clock. Should probably have played out my Talisman, but I'm gonna behold if they don't play something I can disrupt. Wish they would have played that earlier. I could have gotten them with the disrupt. Maybe they'll play another one. That's fine. Makes me want to think twice though. All right, well, I don't expect to get anything with this disrupt, but bolt this guy. Let's ponder. Shuffle no. Look at my Lonely Eye Sandbar. That's the turn. I'm going to disrupt that just to get my card. These cleansing wildfires they're casting on themselves really take a lot of time. The teachings. Just going to grab a counter spell. That's fine. Gonna exclude whatever this is. Not gonna bother looking at what they hit. All right, they're getting really short on time. Now they're really gonna be short on time when I do this to them. All right, I'm gonna hold up double counter spell. They had a red elemental blast that time. It's probably what they had last time. Yeah, those both look good. All right, we can have 6. I'm gonna exclude whatever this is. Just gonna do it right away. Not gonna even wait to see what they cascade into. Deadly Dispute, they can cast that if they want. I don't think I can really die unless there's like a bunch of burn spells that happen to me, so Dispel is a pretty good one. Hopefully they play just another boarding party and I can miscalc it, I guess. These guys are fine. Got kill spells for them. Fortunately, I haven't drawn anything that can make green mana. All right, we did it. Yeah, they got just a little too low on time. I think if there were no time issues anywhere in this match, I think we were probably going to win this last game too, but who knows? We did kind of run out of stuff, but I did kind of play in a way that was playing around the clock more than, yeah, I was about to draw some really good stuff, so probably would have been okay. All right, we finally got a win. On to round number 4. All right, here we are for round number 4 after a grueling round number 3. I need to make sure I put some stops back on. I have definitely had that problem in the past where I forgot to take my put my main phase stop back on, so gotta make sure I do that. We are playing against Mage TACR. They're taking a little while to decide if they're going to play first. Looks like they are, of course. This hand is fine. I'm going to keep it. It's not amazing, but it's good enough. Mountain, Chain Lightning. I will not pay. We have a pretty decent hand against Burn here, but if they get to land a curse here on turn 2, that's going to be hard for us to deal with. Looks like they've got a draw stop for me. I'm guessing that's for a different format, not this one. All right, Cliffs. Normally I'm pretty happy to see a creature in this matchup, but right now I don't have any removal, so I would be pretty upset to see a Thermal Alchemist here. Hopefully it's just 2 more burn spells. Curse is the best card against us, and I do find that my opponents have it on turn 2. Well, this is my 6th game against Burn, and they've had it on turn 2 5 times. So take what you will from that. I'm gonna hold up Miscalc here. Hopefully, they just jam another curse, I guess. I did draw my best card also, so I can't complain too much. I'm gonna let that resolve. I don't think I can afford to miscalc that because I won't have counterspell up next turn. I'm gonna cycle this sandbar. I think I have enough lands and mana for this situation here. Other good thing about holding up this, keeping this miscalc is on my turn 4, I'll be able to play the Talisman and hopefully hold up a blue. Oh man, my opponent is killing me with this pace of play here. Now that I drew a second Talisman, I'm pretty tempted to run out my first one here. That is awfully tempting. I will wait one more turn just so I can, because it's really only one more life that I gain, and I can gain that life right here from the cliffs. All right, opponent, come on. I'm not going to counter that either. Another miscalc makes me really wish I would have countered that. But, so I think if we can survive this turn, we will probably win the game. So I like having the miscalc up here for Fire Blast or another curse. Forgotten Cave, don't care about. Hopefully their hand is full of Searing Blazes. All right. I'm gonna run out this island. My opponent's probably as tilted as I was about that curse. They're probably just as tilted about my talismans here. And if I die with these miscalcs in my hand, so be it. My opponent still only has 3 lands, so miscalculation still probably alive for now. Let's get red, I suppose, with the Thriving Land. One good thing about miscalculation in this matchup now, since they've been playing, Bryn's been playing that Epicure card, it incentivizes them to keep some lands in hand that they might have otherwise just thrown on the battlefield. Exclude is okay. I'm a little tempted, I think, to counter this Rift Bolt at this point. I think I will, because I kind of think my opponent... Well, I don't know. I'm going to do it, though. Lava Spike can resolve. Hopefully they play another spell here. Nope. They don't feel like it. 4 mana is still low enough that I think these miscalcs could be live, but I'm getting pretty close to cycling one of them. Hopefully they draw a creature here that I can exclude. That'll be really awesome. I'm going to cycle 1 miscalc here. With the second one in hand, I'm willing to make that choice. This is a Fire Blast, I'm going to counter it. Now my other miscalculation is looking a lot better. They're going to shoot another Fire Blast at me? I mean, that's fine. Needle Drop's okay. I mean, they have no more lands. So I don't know what... Okay. They were probably dead anyway, so I don't think that's that bad of a play, but... Definitely an interesting choice. Alright, so we've got all these, and this, and I've been bringing in some number of Thorn of the Black Rose against Burn. That was before I had all this stuff, so... Capsize is sometimes good, because you can capsize one of your gain lands and gain a life. Not super exciting, but not the worst card in the world either. I'm going to take the Justice out. Take all the Cannonades out. I didn't really see very many creatures. I didn't see any creatures. I'm going to take the Magma Spray out just because I don't want to exile their creatures. I'd rather they be in the graveyard for the Crypt Incursion. I'm going to keep as many counters as I can. I'm going to cut some more removal spells here. The question is which ones, and I think Innocent Blood is worse than Flame Slash if we've got Thorns. And I would prefer Instant Speed removal, just in case they've got the 2/2 haste. And just Instant Speed removal is better anyway. All right, I think this looks good. Let's submit this. So we got pretty lucky there to hit 2 of our pristine talismans right away. And I had some gain lands on top of it. I'm going to keep this. This is a pretty nice start. They've got a slow one. This draw stop is like massively tilting me. There's just no reason for them to have it. All right, of course. Still on only 1 game so far of my opponent not having that. But again, I have my talisman, so hard to complain too much. Gonna be looking for a Hydroblast for that. And some more lands. These are both pretty good. I think I'll keep both of these. Am I more likely to need double red in a turn? I don't really see needing double red very much. Question is though, do I want green? So I can play my Thorn. I think I'm gonna do black. Just because I have no way to get Weather the Storm at the moment. So we'll see what they have here. This is going to make a huge difference. If they've got some recurring source of damage here, like another curse or really just another curse. Most of the other stuff wouldn't matter too much to us. Gonna play out my sandbar here. I'd like to cast Think Twice, but I'm gonna miscalc a Bolt. I want to get that out of my hand before it's dead and slow them down. All right. Hopefully they have 1 more land in their hand, but it's pretty unlikely since they played that Forgotten Cave on the first turn. I'm pretty hesitant to run out my Talisman against this since they didn't play anything last turn. That's a tough one right there. I'm going to hold up the counterspell, I think. See a land, opponent. Land. All right, Rift Bolt. I think I might have to run out these Talismans, unfortunately. I don't really want to, but I just have nothing. Like, they're just going to smash to smithereens this Pristine Talisman, and I'm going to be dead. But I just had no other... I had no lands. Yeah, they're about to do it right now. See, that's... I hate to run it out with nothing, because this was just a dead card sitting in their hands, but I was going to be dead in like 3 turns, and I missed too many land drops. Well, I'm going to lose here because of that smash, but I think we probably would have lost anyway, since I missed so many land drops. It's possible I was greedy keeping this miscalc and the Think Twice. I should have just been looking for lands. Or did I keep a land? I kept a land in the miscalc. Maybe I should have gotten rid of the miscalc. Alright, opponent. They must be have like really laggy computer, or they're playing on multiple games or something. One problem I've run into with Thorn of the Black Rose is my opponents have been keeping in Searing Blaze for some reason. Alright, am I dead? I'm dead to Fire Blast, so my guess would be yes. Alright. Well, not going to win a lot of games when you miss all your land drops, so I don't really want to change any of my cards here. The only thing is maybe I would rather have something besides this Chainer's Edict, like an instant speed removal spell instead. I'm going to keep it though. I don't really want Electrickery or Magma Spray. Yeah, this hand looks good. I can counter the turn 2 curse. which has not been the case so far. That card is pretty bad against me, but it's really good against my draw right here, which is pretty frustrating, because this card would have done 0 damage in all my other games. Yeah, and I have to miscalculate that. That's all pretty annoying. So I drew a Flame Slash, but I can't really cast that till next turn. I think I'm going to do green with this. And then I'll Ash Barrens for a swamp. I mean, if this Lava Runner only deals me 2 damage this game, that's fine. It's going to be a little frustrating if I have to counter another Thermal Alchemist here. My opponent should just not have these cards in their deck, so that's what makes this very frustrating. Because these are really bad against me. They're so good against this draw. That's frustrating. Now I'm sitting on this Exclude that is going to be trash, so probably won't cast another creature the rest of the game, and I'm going to be tilted about it. Alright, I'm going to grab a swamp. Now they're gonna land their curse and I just like drew just back to back to back creature answers is what's really frustrating about it, because I used universal answers and now I'm sitting on creature answers. Let's see another creature. Could have dispelled that, but I want to be able to exclude anything here. I'm gonna go ahead and just untap. And I'm going to Flame Slash this. The good thing is if I draw a Crypt Incursion, all these creatures are going to be really rough on them. I'm going to take the Bolt. Yeah, this is the frustrating thing. Like, now this is coming out, and I like have 2 creature removal spells. So I'm looking for right on time. Looking for a Hydroblast. I mean, maybe I should have just had faith in my deck that I would top deck a land or a removal spell, but it needed to be like that very turn. So hopefully my opponent plays out a creature. They did, which is good. I'd like to see a Crypt Incursion here. Hopefully they play out another creature. No. Well, I'm going to pick up the Swiftwater Cliffs. Could be bad, but I want the extra 1 life. I have a counterspell up for a curse. So this was the problem with this, is now I don't have a red up because I picked green with this. But I'm just going to take 2 from this, so I'm going to kill it on my turn. Everything's just lining up wrong. Well, at least I get to counter that. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Like, I get to gain a life here, and I took 2 extra. I guess I'll Chainer's Edict it. I really need to draw some big life gain spell and some recurring life gain. This one is fine. This one I can actually bolt. Crypt Incursion will pretty much just end this game, just straight up. Well, if we're lucky, they'll go all in and like try to fire blast me, and I'll get to dispel them. Yeah, that didn't happen. You can see why Flame Slash has not been great, though. And the Chainer's Edict would have been much better as a different removal spell, too. I would have been a lot better off with either Electricity or Magma Spray in those spots. The Archer's a tricky one. It can definitely deal me some damage. I'm going to cycle. Most it can deal me is 2, so I think I'll let it happen. Okay, it dealt me none, so really glad I didn't counter that. Let's see some more creatures. Yeah. Well, you guys are seeing now why you don't play creatures against... Like in your burn deck, you shouldn't play... Like, you shouldn't try to overwhelm my removal with creatures most of the time. What's really killing me is this curse. I guess I need another red. They probably got like a bunch of Smash the Smithereens in their hand or something. Like, I'm trying to figure out what they have in their hand that isn't just going to my face and killing me. We're just gonna flood out and die. This sucks. If I draw Teachings, I can cast Crypt Incursion and gain like approximately 1 billion life. I think I have to counter this Rift Bolt, unfortunately. I just can't go that low. Hopefully they Fire Blast me here, because they think I'm dead. Yes. There we go, folks. See if I get Fire Blasted in response to this. No. Let's go ahead and grab that Crypt Incursion and gain approximately 1 million. 1 million life here. They're going to go ahead and Fire Blast me probably because they know they're dead. And then I'll get to dispel it, and that will be game over. All right, we're at 26, and we've got a Teachings in the graveyard. So unless they can deal with our Teachings, we're just going to Teachings for Teachings for Teachings until they're dead. I'm going to do it while they're tapped out. They shouldn't be playing Pyroblast probably, but just in case they are. Teachings for Teachings. I'm going to hold the Lonely Sandbar. I think I have enough lands. At some point, I'll cycle it. Teachings for another Teachings. This one's going to be blue. All right. I think we've got this one. I don't really see a way, realistically, our opponent's going to be able to get there. I guess I could flood out just absurdly from here, but I don't even think that's possible. I'm going to get Behold. Yeah, 2 great cards. Why not? Ooh, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So my opponent does not have enough mana to Fire Blast right now. I'm going to run out that land now. Gonna ponder. Disrupt is pretty good when you are against an opponent that has no lands. So I'm going to get them down to no lands, and then we'll really have locked this up. There'll just be absolutely nothing they can do. Just going to Hydroblast the Curse. We did it. All right, 2 and 2. On to the final round. See if we can salvage a decent league out of this one. See you guys then. All right, here we are for round number 5 against MTG Dungeon. Tongue twister. We're going to keep this one. This hand looks pretty good. I'm going to play this on red. I'm either going to Flame Slash something, or I'm going to cycle Forgotten Cave and pick this up with my Boilerworks. Playing against Burn again. Well, sorry to give you guys a duplicate matchup. Unfortunately, we didn't play against any creature matchups, which is a bit of a shame. Cycle this. We're going to obviously be looking for our Pristine Talismans. Got a bunch of answers to creatures. Hopefully they play a Thermal Alchemist here. But they have a curse, just like every single game. Although my opponent didn't have it last game on turn 2, which must be why they lost, because, you know. Let's go with black here, and then I think I'm going to think twice rather than Behold. Just in case. I don't want to get hit by the 2/2 haste if they play like a lightning bolt and the haster. If they play another curse, I can probably just scoop, but you never know. If I draw like a couple back-to-back, what are they called? Back-to-back talismans, I could fight through that potentially. I guess I'm gonna do 4 mana here. That'll give me Exclude plus Cycle if I want it. Fortunately, we got a pretty bad draw against Burn here. Just no counter spells. They're not playing creatures. It's all lining up pretty poorly. Unfortunately, I still am mana short of being able to Teachings for Disrupt there to counter that. Would have been nice. Don't want either of these. Both horrible. Well, those are also horrible. That's even more horrible. I think I'm just going to play out this Ash Barrens. I'm going to discard this Thriving Bluff, I guess. I don't know, it seems unlikely, but I might be able to Teachings for... I have, like, Dispel, so, like, I could Teachings for Dispel, potentially. I don't know. None of it seems very likely to work. They've still got a bunch of cards. Creature. Yes. We have life. So let's exclude that. Come on, Pristine Talisman. Not a Pristine Talisman. So you can see in my hand why you don't want to really play creatures out against me. I'm sitting here with a bunch of dead cards until my opponent plays a creature. I mean, I'm just dead to like everything, so I'm just gonna teachings, and if I die, I die. I mean, I'm gonna grab Dispel. Gonna hold it up. I don't know. Shouldn't have let me get Dispel, opponent. So, yeah, creature is fine. I think I'm gonna think twice, because if I draw Exclude, I'm gonna want to cast it. Did not draw Exclude. So we don't have much of a chance, but now that they've played two creatures, I could potentially have time to, okay. I could potentially have time to get Crypt Incursion and gain 6. I mean, it's so unlikely. I need them to have nothing, like 4 Searing Blazes or something. Like, that needs to be their hand. Can't flashback teachings without letting Dispel down. All right. Searing Blaze number 6 for my opponent, hopefully. 1 is not 0. Yeah, I mean, I think I let this resolve. Problem is this like represents another spell probably too. So I was debating if I should think twice and look for, yeah, there goes the Searing Blaze. I drew a land. Well, gonna draw the Crypt Incursion and see what they do. Gonna untap, go to 1. Gonna Flame Slash this guy. Yeah, let's just go for it. All right, it worked. That's cool. I did not expect that. Pick up this Ash Barrens. I think I'd rather play this thing twice. Because I should have done that before. And their hand must be bad. Come on, man. So now I gotta draw Capsize or something. Let's gain a life here. Cycle the Ash Barrens. Get another island. I don't foresee this miscalc doing anything, so I'll cycle it now in case I draw another Talisman, which I did not. Yep, that's 1 damage to me. Plus a card for them. Maybe they'll play out a creature that dies to Fiery Cannonade. Pretty tempted to dispel that, but I'm saving my dispel for a Fire Blast. Oh, man. Why couldn't they draw all these creatures and not all these curses? Whatever, I'm just gonna cannonade and kill that thing, I suppose. Right on time, Deprive. Right on time. So it's pretty much my last turn to draw a capsize here. I can start bouncing those. I don't have any more life gain. That's also a little late. Would have been nice to exclude an Epicure at some point. Yeah, I mean, I have to counter this, so let's dispel. Why not? I had to counter that, otherwise the curses would be lethal. Well, I'm pretty willing to bet that they've got a Fire Blast in their hand. But if they have any burn spells at all, I can't beat it, so... Yep, that'll do it. Man. We weren't drawing anything anyway. Well, that was going horribly, and then there was a small chance, and then it kept going horribly. Let's bring all this stuff in. Cannonades out. Innocent Bloods out. Electrickery out. And Magma Spray out. Is that what I did last time? I think this looks pretty good. Let's do it. Yeah, I'll play first. Oh boy. I need to draw some serious lands for this. I think I got them all again. It. Alright. This one I have drawn serious lands. What am I going to get rid of here? I hate to get rid of a Swiftwater Cliffs, because well, I might as well. Alright, well, I can't beat a curse with this hand, but never can. Preordain's a great draw. Looking for some Hydroblasts. Definitely don't want either of these. So that means it was a pretty good Preordain. Play out the Boiler Works. Thermal Alchemist. See if I can find a removal spell here. I'm just not willing to use that on this thing. Question is, now am I willing to? So I could use this to get an island, and I could Hydroblast that guy. Nope. Booyah. Not going to make the same mistake I made last time, where I just use all my best cards on their worst cards. That one I might Hydroblast. What am I going to do? I'm going to cycle the Forgotten Cave. Pretty nice. Alright, the only thing that I really don't want to see is a Molten Rain on my Boiler Works. Thermal Alchemist I don't care about at all. I think I'm just going to Hydroblast this one. Play out the cave. So I did end up spending my Hydroblast on a Thermal Alchemist anyways. What is up with my opponents like boarding in all of their creatures on the draw against the deck that like can't possibly board out all of the... Just can't possibly board out all of the removal. I don't get it. And you just have so much removal. Do I care about this guy? I don't, but I'm gonna teachings for Hydroblast anyways. This guy's like a 2-for-1 that I also, like, I don't know. I just gotta kill it anyways, and it's frustrating. Rift Bolt is fine. Gonna get a green with that one. So, you know, this is the problem with all those creatures, is now all these burn spells, like, I don't care about any of them. Like, I'd let them resolve like 5 burn spells here. Yep. Those all resolve. See, like, none of those matter. Would be cool if I could teachings here and just destroy them with weather, but can't weather the storm here. Alright, teachings for teachings. Got an island. Alright, feeling pretty good about this one. Bunch of counter spells, got teachings. If they play like 3 spells here, I'll ooh, I'm tempted. It's not cast, I don't think. So no, I will not fire it back at them. Let's see if they cast one more. Oh, dang. So at 9, they can't kill me from here, so I feel pretty safe getting 2 cards they can't possibly kill me from 9, so I feel pretty safe getting a card draw spell. Don't want land, especially not those ones. Alright. Let's cycle that. So I think I'm going to counter their Rift Bolt, and then hopefully they cast another spell that I can counter, and then I'll weather the storm, and that'll be all she wrote. Yeah, why not? I'll counter that. That should be enough. All right. That went pretty well. All those creatures make me a little tempted to bring in the Innocent Blood. Especially all those creatures that do nothing. I'm going to cut the capsize. It's my opponent on 7. They mulligans. I think I'm going to keep this. I have a decent amount of life gain with the cliffs, and I can play out this. I have this Innocent Blood. Turn 2. It's probably too greedy. I'm going to play the cliffs right away, since I drew that Ash Barrens, which was obviously just a horrible draw. Alright. I guess I'm glad I brought in these Innocent Bloods. Would have been a lot worse if this were a Thorn. Although 2 land drops, or 2 land draws in a row is pretty bad. Curse is actually less scary than Thornmail Alchemist at the moment. I'll have a decent amount of time to deal with that. Let's preordain bottom and top. All right, getting bolted. Yeah, like this curse is good, but it's slow. Hopefully they just have burn spells here. And then I can teachings. Yeah, see look how much life I have. And I've got 3 more sitting right on deck. Another reason to save this isle earlier is I can use it for green now. Alright, I'm down to 10. Hoping for another Thermal Alchemist, and I'll just teachings and get a removal spell. Kill it. Right, teachings. I think I'm going to grab Hydroblast with the first one. I'm going to go ahead and get this curse off the board. Just gain a life. I don't think anything can really go wrong here with my Crypt Incursion up. Let's kill that. They don't have enough cards to kill me this turn with anything. That's fine. I guess if they go double needle drop into another Fire Blast, I could die. Seems pretty specific. Another Hydroblast is good. That makes me want to cast Preordain, because I'm not going to cast Teachings this turn. I'm not going to tap out for Teachings if I have this Hydroblast. Or I will play that. Talisman, I'm going to pick up the Cliffs. Yeah, post-board the curse is so much weaker. Like, it might deal me 3 damage and cost me a Hydroblast, but I have so much time to deal with it. This game's over, yeah. Well, awesome. Well, the tech worked out really well against Burn. So, League went okay after a terrible start. I think I should definitely have been able to win one of those games. No shame in losing to Carves. Carves is one of the best Pauper players. Almost always kind of sitting at the top. Let's see if Carves has a lot of trophies at all. Check out Carves. 21 trophies. Yeah, that's quite a few. So Carves is a great player. No shame in losing to Carves basically at any time. And even you could see the... let's see if I can go back to it. In the games we lost, I mean, we won or in the matches we lost, we won a game. So a lot of really close matches. Really fun deck. Sometimes it gets a little slow. Obviously, we won match 3 by timeout, but I'm excited that my changes worked against Burn and they kind of came into play a little bit. We had some obviously decent draws, but especially some of those times against the creatures. Top deck some removal right when I needed to, but that happens sometimes. Well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys try out this deck. It's totally awesome. I put it together. I don't think I said this in the deck tech, but I put together in like 15 minutes. So there's, I'm sure, a lot of adjustments that can be made. The only changes I've made in the leagues I've played, I've played around with the number of magma sprays, and I've played around with the number of untapped lands. I added a few more untapped lands. Previously, there was just too many tapped lands previously. So, well, cool. I'm sure I'm going to play some more leagues with this. It's one of my favorite decks, and it's been doing well for me. So I'm sure you'll see more of this from me. See you guys next time.